TK up against Detona. That will be an interesting match. You have to wait till tomorrow to see that one break down, as we're going to be having Envy play up against Detona here on an initial map of Train Dust. Who did you have chosen?
I did have Envy chosen, though like Davey was kind of saying on the death segment, it is really surprising they would pick into Train considering their results on Train are not that great. And Detona on average has usually been pretty comfortable playing this map. It's kind of one of the few maps they do have kind of in their pool. They even had a pretty good T-side yesterday at all in all. They took that game to overtime against Singularity. So yeah, this is a little bit different. I don't know if Envy's kind of pivoting their map pool a bit.
What I'm looking at is the fact that Som, who was the top fragger for the team for Envy in the first group stage, was actually the bottom performer in yesterday's game.
He was really quiet. Ryan did step up in a big way.
Exactly. So we had kind of a reversal where Ryan was the one who was unfortunately having the toughest of times, and I like to see if he can continue to do so. That's someone we were looking at over the course of the first group stage of him coming within the team.
A good thing to note is that Ely did not play that bad yesterday.
No,
like, I mean, he wasn't like a star or something like that, but he definitely wasn't some type of huge burden on the team, which is really nice that he's able to still contribute coming in as a stand-in. But we are going to be seeing Envy going for a bit of an inter-execute here. Pop Flash allowing them to come down the lower ramp, and Lukazi's already been figured out here. A trade as they make their way into the site.
Lukazi was actually one of the big stars for Detona that came to Train yesterday. Unfortunately, not going to have the best starts for him now. But now the bomb going to be planted into a 3-on-3 after plant situation. You got Nifty watching the back as Turtle's trying to crawl his way forward. Nifty should be able to lock down this position as the rest of the team at Detona is going to be looking to push in towards the site. I like how Nifty's actually just trying to stay alive. The importance of him just keeping himself up and going is, well, not going to work out for unfortunate. Tabercia just taking down Som, going to be overrun by the force of the CT side. And then look at that. This little clean retake coming in out of Detona. Should be able to get the defuse off. And they will be able to take the pistol round here, which is important considering Detona only got 5 rounds on the CT side yesterday.
Yeah, tough loss for Envy there. They'd actually traded initially very, very well. They had the 1-for-1 to open the slide. They got that second kill also to get that bomb planted, so actually had a man advantage pretty early on in the round, but could not finish it off. Retake too good from Detona. And so, you know, the thing is here, what we need to talk about this game is whoever loses this series goes 0-2 in the group, and they're out. You know, there's no chance they're going to top the group, get that #1 seed, and get out. So, you know, this is like do or die for both these teams. Even getting a win here doesn't necessarily guarantee you because, you know, whoever wins the next game will be 2-0, and then they have a chance to go 3-0 and guarantee themselves first seed. So you got to win to keep yourself in the race.
And they have to hope other teams will kind of lose.
Exactly. So you don't control your own destiny anymore, but at the very least, if you know, lose here, then you're no chance.
Well, if anything, you can play spoiler into tomorrow's game, depending on who wins the follow-up game today. Nifty can open things up on a Turtle, and Fugly getting PRT down about 7 HP. A very good start for the T side of Envy.
Yep.
Nifty, definitely a player that we were looking at when it came into the first group stage. His op was fantastic.
Played well yesterday too, all things said. I think he was like #2 behind Ryan for the series numerically. We are going to see they still have 3 SGs in play. A very powerful buy to have second round. Again, those first round bomb plants for T-sides can make things oh so dangerous for the defense. This round they're already down a man, and they have PRT very, very low on health. Right now we're seeing just kind of a split play right now from Envy. They do still have Fugly tucked in over at Ivy. Then the rest are split between Ladder and T-Con. Look like they do want to do an out-execute here soon. They do have 1 smoke for Z, a couple of flashes, maybe 1 well-placed Molotov. Might flush someone out of position. Nifty's already kind of made his way over towards Olaf. And sneaking forward.
You see the CT side playing a little bit aggressive here towards outside, trying to get some early information. Tabercia doesn't know that I actually think Nifty's been able to swing around. Nifty going to spot him out, and he's going to stay alive. And he's actually not going to be given his position up, but now we see the shots come through. He's going to miss out on those, unfortunately for him. Teammates going to be able to swarm the site. Tabercia's going to fall, and Nifty's going to die as well as VSM. He's able to trade that one back, but Lukazi needs to win out in this duel, and he's going to be able to. But now the bomb's going to be planted, and Fugly quickly disposes of him. It's all on PRT with 7 HP. And a dream. More like a nightmare for him, to be honest.
Pick up the SG, but only for Ryan to dot him between the eyes there with the scout. Well done by Envy, just really Nifty getting so much space, being able to creep forward through Olaf into bomb train, getting that opening kill, allowing that bomb to make its way forward. Just efficient trading across the board. They never allowed any of these CT flanks to get more than 1 frag. So well done here for Envy to kind of steal one away early. Although I don't even know if you can call it that anymore. I mean, the SG buys in second round are so powerful. Now we are going to have Detona obviously forcing back into this kind of that economic game of chicken taking place right now. But Detona is just on some Deagles and a CZ, so not nearly as potent as an SG buy.
Well, one thing we did talk quite a bit about with Detona yesterday was on overpass, particular kind of cheeky little plays, right? The gimmicks that they were doing. I don't know if on the CT side of Train they're gonna be able to pull it off as successfully. I think one of the gimmicks we saw was just Turtle kind of getting aggressive towards ladder room every once in a while.
Yeah.
But after like 1 or 2 rounds of doing that, he was figured out, and I think that kind of contributed to only getting 5 rounds on the CT side.
Yeah, we see some aggression here from Detona inside the box. Also kick things off this round. They do take down Ely. Lukazi also playing up close here on the smoke with that T-Con positioning from Sam. Trying to throw it through that smoke. I think maybe he spotted the foot of Sam through that small little crack in the bottom left-hand corner, but could not find the kill. But there he goes on the repeat, finds the one tap on the Sam. Nifty through Olaf once more, though, with Fugly able to get the better end of this deal so far on the outer side.
Oh my gosh, Lukazi, that's a second kill of the round. The Wung Ding's coming true for him. Maybe needs to get one more to have a good chance in this round, and there you go. They're going to be able to pull this off with Turtle chiming in on the Deagles. The chicken battle has been won, and Detona take a second round here.
Indeed, they do impressive work with that Deagle up close on E-Box. They just could not trade him. He gets so much. I think he got 3 kills on the round with that Deag, so just so much impact individually. He was one of their better players in the series yesterday, it must be said. It's kind of him and Tiburcio that were really kind of popping off throughout the series. Obviously, Envy are going to be forcing right back into this. It's going to be this back and forth start to the game.
I wonder if we're actually going to see VSM opping. I think, yeah, it was Train. We finally saw him pick it up in one of the very last rounds in regular time, which he didn't even have a chance to shoot a bullet off. And then in overtime we saw it, but it was still not effective. I wonder if his just maybe some confidence, maybe it's the style they want to go with just keeping Tiburcio. But we know how powerful double ups can be on CT side of Train. And I feel like that's something that Detona might have to do here to have a solid chance to rack up some rounds. But they're looking for number 3.
Also depends on how long they can hold on to this SG that Lukazi has. If you can do that, you don't really even need to get that second op in play. You can kind of treat the SG as that secondary sniper. Oh,
they blinded themselves.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they blinded themselves. Turtle wasn't even in the room when it popped off. And when you come down the head stack like that, you know, you're obviously hoping for a 1-for-1 trade. That's kind of the best end of the deal that you could get. But the thing is, you're already down a player. So even if you do trade 1-for-1, it doesn't really get you anything. And unfortunately for them, they got absolutely nothing out of it. And to top it all off, like the cherry on top is that Turtle was the guy with the SMG. So that means he gets to farm some extra cash. Meanwhile, Fugly able to find one little entry here out Ivy, but there's little time left. That bomb is very far out of his grasp, and he still has 4 CTs to deal with, so it's not looking too good.
Should almost just be looking to save at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, keeping the SG and the Tech 9 over would be massive because they're not going to have any economy into the next round. So I would kind of agree that that might be the better choice, but he decides to keep pressing through back halls anyhow, dies to VSM. Obviously, you don't want to die after time in a situation like that, but I think, yeah, holding the SG and Tech 9 into the next round would have been pretty great.
That's a turtle, right?
That is indeed Turtle. Yes.
No, a turtle. That is a turtle on his monitor.
Is it? Oh, yeah. I did not see that at first. That's wholesome.
I like how you're just like, yes, that is turtle. I'm like, well, yeah, I know that.
I didn't know where you were going with that, if I'm being 100% honest. But yes, that is very wholesome.
Kind of reminds me of the Get Right teddy bear we used to have back in the day. I don't know if he still uses it. I don't think so. Anyways, we see Envy go for a quick rush in towards the inner sight. The nade comes through and just, oh, that's just a lot of damage. I'm going to try to add that one up. VSM just waiting with his M4, and he should be able to mow down the majority of Envy as he gets himself a quick odd kill.
Yep.
And Lukazi's going to close it out. So Detona already able to get 4 of the 5 rounds they were able to accumulate on CT side of Train yesterday. Question for me is, can they continue this pace?
Yeah, not sure. I'm kind of curious how he's going to play Train. I mean, they're usually a team that likes to open up triple Ivy, or they like to just gather for fast executes right away. They like that up-tempo style. I'm also curious how Ely's going to slot in. Andrew was typically the Ivy player for this team on default, so I'm not sure if Ely will just take that position over and keep everything else the same, which would probably make the most sense. It's like, you know, Fugly typically likes to like work inner. Obviously, you want Nifty floating around the AWP. If he has one, this round he's not. He's just going to have the AK-47.
Well, one thing we need to also keep in mind of, when Detona, you know, obviously playing Train yesterday, they were up against Singularity with Robin, right? So in the meantime, getting a little bit aggressive here. We'll trade 1-for-1. But they had Robin, like the whole game plan of Singularity. Oh my gosh, Ryan, all right, he's continuing his pace from yesterday. It's a quick 2-piece. Looking for more here. Eventually, I'll get around to making my point. So they had Robin playing, right? And they kind of left him to his own thing. They were like, all right, you go off by yourself, and then we'll stay as 4 on the T side. And yet Detona could still only get 5 rounds. I wonder if Envy will be keeping Ely with them a majority of the time to play kind of around each other instead of letting him go off and do his own thing.
I think the great thing about Ely is obviously with him being the coach of the team, he's going to be very familiar with everyone's roles and all the strategies. He helps build that type of stuff. So it's so much easier to slot him in because he knows what everyone's responsibilities are, and so he can pick up whoever's responsibilities is required. And again, if he's coming in for Android, usually that's kind of been their like Ivy player on this map in particular. On both sides of the map, actually. So we'll see if that comes to fruition or not, as we do have Envy coming up with a pretty big round thanks to Ryan's big entries with the SG through Olaf. Now try to build off the back of that. Now they have a chance to force a reset out of Detona. Same could happen for them, though. This round's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. Both economies are very fragile right now for these two teams.
Well, we do have the op picked up for Tiburcio. You have to keep an eye on this. The point I was trying to make is that in theory, we should see Detona not be able to get more than 5 rounds, since Team Ivy should be able to play around all 5 of each other. But with the way they've been starting off, looking to prove me a little bit wrong on that case. 2 players over towards Ivy in the meantime, just trying to feel things out. Fugly and Nifty together, holding hands, looking for a potential shot here. Ely's going to be the one on the MAC-10.
Yeah, Fugly usually the inner player for this team on T side. They actually have Ely over there, so maybe that is the oh my goodness, it's happened again. It's raining men in ladder room, but it's no hallelujah this time around. It's just death. That's twice now they tried that head stack down ladder, and both times they have been absolutely crushed.
Oh, blind shot comes out of Nifty. Does help get things into a more even standing between the two teams. And all 3 players were over towards Ivy. 45 seconds left to go. They're going to have to make a decision soon. And I don't think we've had Tiburcio shoot off a single shot just yet, so I don't think they're quite aware of the AWP that they're going to have to battle up against when it comes into, well,
they also don't have that much utility either, man. Just that 1 smoke, 1 flash, 1 Molotov, another flash or 2 between Sam and Nifty. It can be very hard to break through, and that first player just gonna slow peek out. It's too easy for Tiburcio.
And Turtle. Oh, okay. I was expecting to get quite a few kills there. Tiburcio is gonna be looking up high. He's not able to quite connect the shots. Sam will punish him off of this one, and Lukowski's not able to trade back. So down into a 2-on-2 with 8 seconds left to go. The bomb has been dropped, and Fugly's not able to pick up the last kills of ESM swings wide, and does get Detona their 5th round.
Almost recovered that round, actually. Had a couple of key kills to try to break through outer, but could not get the task completed. So another round is going to go the way of Detona. Off to a pretty solid start here thus far on Train on their CT side. Remember, that's the side they actually struggled on a lot yesterday. They only got 5 rounds in regulation on the defense against Singularity. So they've already been able to do better than that, and we're not even halfway through the first half. Or tie it, I should say.
A really good start at Detona. And after, I mean, day 1, like, I had them pitted to win their match for Singularity. Like, it's a roster of 5 that have stuck together. Obviously, no switch-ups coming in, unlike the 2 teams we have in Group A who have swapped a player out. So I expected them to perform better yesterday than they actually did, but credit to Singularity to close that one out. And now today, they seem to have shown up. The problem is, as we mentioned before, you've already lost 1 game. And you've already put yourself with 1 foot in the grave when it comes to getting through into the Pro League Finals. So they're going to need to hope for a little bit of a miracle to come through today.
Yeah. I mean, they need to come up with something here very soon on Train. I mean, this is a map we did not see them play at all in the first stage of EPL. It's a map that they haven't played on LAN very much, period, and their LAN record is 1-3. So the fact that you still picked in the Train despite all that means that you have to have something up your sleeve. And we haven't seen anything just yet here on their T side. Obviously, they haven't had that many full buy rounds just yet, so it's still early days. This round will be another one of those save opportunities for SMG trying to farm some cash. There's a couple kills for GSM, and Lukazi on that flank, able to find 2 and perhaps a 3rd. There it is. Now we couldn't expect much from given Envy's equipment value, but this next buy is going to tell us a lot about how this hat's going to go.
It's kind of hard to judge, I guess, like you were saying before, like the rounds on the T side for Envy, since they haven't had too many gun rounds. We haven't seen the op picked up for Nifty either.
Right.
I wonder if that's going to be something they want to invest into for him, because you know how powerful Nifty can be as an opper. Great little flank, by the way, in the timing. It seems like Detona have been able to read timings relatively well. Like we saw the drops in the ladder room. The second time they actually pulled it off, it came down to them just completely catching them out as they were looking for the drop. And we saw also the pop flashes out of Detona yesterday on Overpass. Very effective. Pop flash coming through, and well, only able to get 1 this time, unfortunately, for Lukowski, but nice to see they're still trying to use this. Ryan gets caught as he's just trying to run straight out into the outer bomb site, but Falcon's been able to open things up. They have control of Inner. They're going to rotate the bomb back around, but Turtle Just a little bit late to the party here, but he's still
there so fast, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I mean, the thing is, normally you wouldn't expect someone here to be this quick, but because Daytona's done it time and time again, Envy, I'm sure, has some idea about this. Turtle decides to double back over towards the upper side, does take down Ely, gets the man advantage here on this retake. He's waiting for the rest of his teammates to get into position, but Nifty has re-aggressed towards Inner, gets the leg shot on the PRT, and is now forced to kind of fade back.
Oh, with Fugly dying too, he was the one that could have alleviated the pressure for Nifty, not having to watch so many different directions. He gets the first kill, looking for the second, not able to quite connect, unfortunately, and Turtle will get himself 3 kills and save the round here for Detona and put them up to 7. This is what we should have expected, should have seen out of Detona yesterday when it came to train, but they have come to play today.
Indeed, they have. Well done. It's one of those shots at Nifty where he misses because he's already thinking about the next shot he's got to hit.
Yeah.
You know, he knows he's going to have to whip around. He's in a tough 1v2 where he's getting pinched and just didn't connect the shots. Needed Fugly to stay alive a little bit longer, though Fugly was the one that kind of opened the round for them. He had a big entry into the inner sight, which gave them a lifeline. They just could not capitalize, and now they're back on upgraded pistols only.
Well, if Fugly was able to get that kill, the last kill there, then Nifty already knew both players are coming in from behind, so it would have been relatively easy for them to probably maintain that. So a little bit unfortunate for Envy. Again, back to the pistols and the armor coming through. And Detona, they have some money built up. It's not as much money as I would expect. Look at a 7-2 scoreline. Then again, most of it will be in Turtle's hands. This is at 6.9k. And look at this aggression out of Envy trying to switch up the pace.
Yeah, Lukazi having a big game, up to 14 kills and 155 ADR so far. Fugly, though, in the meantime, is actually broken through Ivy. That's a big entry to get that even will get them perhaps a rifle in their hands to work with going forward. It's the M4 into the palms of Psalm. Trying to push through those back halls. 3 players go through. They're looking to pinch Inner, but it was picked up on pretty quickly by Tiburcio, who's already posted up from Z, watching this doorway, spotting T's left and right, but none of them are fully committing, so he's not able to land any shots just yet.
Able to get one off of that. Still going to be 3-on-3, but Lukazi and Tiburcio are still going to be here. And Tiburcio, oh, he's hitting shots at 9-4 at the moment. They get the bomb down. Luckily, Envy do get some extra cash going into the next round, but Ryan has been the big playmaker for Envy, at least yesterday. Can he do it yet again? Goes to the spray down, takes down Lukazi. He's got Tiburcio to find, but Tiburcio not going for the op shot. Instead, just the pistol. The USP will be enough. Detona will get another added to the tally, going up to 8 here, Dust.
Yeah, they're crushing it right now. Outside of Envy being able to get a second round buy of SGs off of a first round bomb plant and capitalizing on that chance, they've not shown us much of throughout this half. It's really been Detona running away with things. Not even very many rounds that were close, if I'm 100% honest. There's a couple of times where we get to, like, you know, a 2-on-1 or something like that, but it's usually always favored Detona. Again, they've done a great job shutting down ladder room control, particularly every time we've seen those head stack pushes from Envy. It's not been successful. We've seen them be able to disrupt Envy by getting aggressive with pop flashes on T-Con and causing them to scramble. We've seen a lot of different faces here from Detona on their CT side. What we haven't really seen from them yet is a little bit more cohesion. I feel like all we've really seen is kind of like triple Ivy openings or default plays. Yeah, they've been able to get a pick here and there to try to get some space, but we haven't like seen like a really nice set piece or something like that yet.
Well, one of the linchpins for me about this map is going to be ladder room. It's going to be pop. Like the fact that we've seen Turtle be able to lock down that position time and time again and not falter like we had happen yesterday, it means that Envy don't have an entire part of the map to use to their advantage. Like you're saying, no set pieces, no pushes into ladder room, out from main as well to open things up with smokes onto the outer site. So honestly, credit to Turtle to really kind of be the glue that keeps this defense together.
I mean, taking ladder is just so hard because you can hear pin noises. So like if someone is popping a flash to come down, you'll hear that, you'll be able to avoid it. So you have to usually kind of double up with Molotovs and kind of force someone out of that position. But that's obviously a big utility investment just to get one little piece of the map. So you have to really kind of think about it, and we haven't really seen Envy, you know, go that heavy-handed just yet. They do have the opening pick in this round, though, and they're making some real progress towards Inner. There's still 2 CTs here defending, though.
Oh, VSM. He's got 3 players there. They're going to actually just peek around the corner, crouch walking through, and Ryan again comes up big. That's a second kill of the round. The rotation's going to be coming in from Ivy, which could allow the backstab to come in for Fugly, but Lukazi over the top of the smoke, spots right out, gets the bomb down, and a little bit of fortune for Ryan. He's already had the 2 big kills in this round. Lukazi, sorry, he wants to actually pick up more here. Nifty just trying to back away. They've ditched the bomb, But they're hoping, they're trying to buy time for Fugly to rotate back in and to help out, and he could easily open up this round for him.
Absolutely, he is definitely going to be the insurance policy of this round. He is going to be creeping through CT spawn, and so far no one's even thought about this as an option on the Detona side of things, which is going to help things further along for Fugly. Now, Lucazi does get nifty, but the Fugly biding his time almost. Had a little bit of a hiccup there, does find the headshot, but he doesn't get that much impact out of it. It's been picked up on by the CT side, now down to the 1v1. So much damage being exchanged here, but Lucazi is going to have the slight edge.
Especially time on his side, 10 seconds left to go. Fugly has to go for the kill here. Lucazi just needs to stay alive. We'll expect him to have gone up high. Fugly sneaking in, and Fugly will get the kill in the nick of time. 6 seconds left, and NMV will finally put a round on the board.
That was a chaotic one, though. That was definitely not the easy round you wanted. You expect when Fugly's having that big of a flanking maneuver that he's just going to blow the round up, but he was really labored to find the one kill on Z. Didn't find an instant second kill like you're hoping for from that positioning, but does wind up winning the 1v1 in the end anyhow. So great job by Envy.
I mean, maybe I'm being overly critical. I was surprised to see Som get the kill and then just drop down with his, or try to drop down with his knife out.
Yeah, that's like a weird habit that some players have that can sometimes really come back to haunt you. Like, getting caught with a nade in your hands is one thing. Like, just as a timing thing where you're unfortunate, you're trying to set something up and it doesn't happen. But pulling your knife out there, I mean, obviously it gives you a little bit better movement speed for that brief moment that you jump strafe out. But if you don't know for sure that it's clear, then yeah, you're into some real trouble.
Probably don't sound too nitpicky there.
I think it's just something that we've seen a lot of players do, particularly younger players. Like, it's just like that weird, like, kind of tick that people have where they switch back and forth between their knife and their gun and or inspect their weapon while they're holding an angle. Like, it's just like these little things you do to kind of keep things loose. Like spamming hotkeys in StarCraft or something like that.
Yeah, keep that APM up, man.
Yeah.
When you see the Galil coming in. Yeah, not the most stable of economy for Envy at the moment. Nifty already down to about half HP, but they still have the 3 SGs on their side. Ryan, who was a big playmaker in the last round, able to open things up, and fortunately he's not going to be here this time as VSM. You got to get punished from that position. You should not be able to pick up those 2 kills.
I mean, the first one's understandable. That's like a weird off angle you're not really expecting. But when you have that second guy in the perfect position at upper to make that instant trade, you got to be getting that all day long. The fact that they missed that opportunity is so massive. It gives a big edge to Detona.
Oh, Fugly comes in, cleans that one up. Tabersia, though, no up in hand this time, but only able to get the 1 kill as the bomb should be planted here. But it's still going to be a 2-on-3. It comes down to Som and Fugly to hold on to this one. Lucazi, the one going for the flank from behind into Hulls. Som's gonna win on that trade, so alleviates the pressure from the back, so now they need to worry about the front with Turtle and PRT, and well, just like that, they should be around for Envy. Comes all down to PRT with just the Deagle and no kit in his hands at the moment. Would imagine Envy should be able to close this one out, but you can see PRT still pushing up, snaking his way forward, and Fugly will get another kill, a 4K for him in that round.
Yeah, really big stuff out of him.
That's the first woo we've heard out of Envy in this match.
Yeah, Som's usually good for a few woos throughout a game, but unfortunately for them, they've been down most of it, so it's kind of hard to shit talk whenever you're getting destroyed. It's a little bit harder to find the motivation, but yeah, maybe if they can start swinging some rounds together, you'll start hearing them get a little bit more vocal as the half passes, but really good recovery on that round from Fugly, because when VSM got those 2 kills at enter to kind of kick off the round, you really felt like Envy were in for some trouble, but Fugly breaks through with a big quad kill, has 16 frags on the game. He's played really, really well. Going toe-to-toe with Lucazi on the other side. Now we don't have much for Detona to work with into this round, so a great opportunity for Envy to find 5.
I really want to see these Zeuses do something, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I love a good Zeus kill.
Did we decide that Zeus is the most frustrating way? I think a long-range Nova headshot to kill you, I think, is like equally frustrating.
I mean, for me, it's still the Zeus, but teach their own.
Oh, Turtle's looking for it.
Come on, man. You could do it.
I think when he sees something thrown, he's just going to rush it. Oh!
Oh!
Respect the hustle, though. Respect the play there. Doesn't work out for him, unfortunately. Tabersia, though, could redeem him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever going to see any action. It seems like the T's are pretty well set on just kind of clamping down this outer bomb site from multiple angles. They have a push out of Ivy. They're already deep towards the bomb train. So yeah. Nah, there's something.
Ryan's too far away.
Yeah. It's not going to happen, is it? 5 rounds now for Envy. They've won the last 3 in a row, actually. So they're starting to really get some footing in this half. And if they can get like 1 more round out of this, it wouldn't be too bad of a T side. I just don't want to see Som step up, by the way. I feel like he's been so quiet throughout all the games we've seen so far in this group, including this map thus far. He's not played so well. It's really just been the Fugly show. He's like almost double anybody else on his team. In fact, more than double anyone else on his team.
17 kills, wow.
Okay, so he's one less than double. The scoreboard I was looking at wasn't as updated.
I was gonna let you get away with it, don't worry, it's fine.
Quick math's always a risky business as a commentator.
It is, it's probably, I think, one of the hardest things to do in the business is doing math on air.
A lot of pressure.
Especially when it's like just, you know, like first grade math.
Yeah.
It's like simple addition.
It's like, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Not when I'm live commentating. Jeff Foxworthy, get out of here.
Well, for me, it's just not in general.
I got you.
Oh, there's the Molotovs we were asking about, by the way. Trying to clear turtle out position. Maybe it was due to the economy they had. Finally able to invest in
usually you need
utility.
like a second one combined with that to truly get the most impact. And they didn't even wind up taking ladder off the back of it. Now they do.
We do see Ryan, more importantly, saving the Zeus from the last round.
That is indeed quite the luxury item.
Here we go, 50 seconds left. Envy, probably one of the slower paced rounds we've seen out of them so far on this T half.
Yeah.
Gonna have to make their move eventually. You still have Fugly, the one being left to himself to kind of lurk. He's been very successful in it so far, to be fair. It looks like Envy would be looking to poise for control back and towards middle. They expect Lukowski to be here is my question. Well, it doesn't seem to matter because Ryan will quickly dispose of him. Turtle going to be here now as he looks for his opportunity. But again, Ryan's going to be coming through. It's a second kill of the round, and Fugly again cleans up towards Ivy. It seems like when Detona lose this op, though, they start to struggle. We've seen Tiburcio be so solid with it in the last 2 days now.
Yeah.
But Envy just seem to have the read, and they're going to need it, I feel like. Well, they're not necessarily going to need it. They already have 5 rounds on T side and going into 6.
I mean, I think what you're really seeing now is that, like, Envy aren't having as much problems dealing with some of Daytona's, like, forward positioning over towards ladder and T-Con. They're starting to win some of their duels as they do some of their spread play. And they also did catch Daytona on a weaker economy, right? They played against, like, 2 pistol buys. So this is all kind of combined together to actually put Envy just, you know, a couple away from tying this game up. Obviously, they only get 1 more round this half, but a chance to make it as close of a half as possible. And again, when you consider that at one point they were down 8-2, if they could win this last round,
yeah,
they would have a great recovery on their T side. And it's looking very likely considering Daytona don't have much to work with.
Oh, look at the speed coming through. Straight out the gate swinging. Molotov's being thrown in. Tiburcio down to 31 HP and some easy kills as well coming in for the T side of Envy.
Yeah, I like this from Envy, knowing that the CTs are low on economy, knowing that they're not going to have as many nades to slow you down from doing a fast T-Con push, and so they've capitalized on that in a big, big way, sweeping through this outer site, leaving VSM all alone. And he's not going to be long for this world. Sam putting the finishing touches on what, again, was a nice little run there for Envy in the end. 5 rounds in a row to make this half as close as possible, when at first I thought they were going to get steamrolled.
Yeah, it looked like it. Like you said, 8-2 was the scoreline. It looked like Detona had things locked down completely. We think back to one of the rounds where Fugly flanked in from Ivy, and we saw them actually able to secure that round. I think it was against PRT in the last few seconds. There was 6 seconds left to go, and I think that was like the real kicker to really start to streak some of these rounds together. But they're not done just yet. They have to obviously have to switch over to the CT side to look to close this out. And we'll be back with that after a short what, Dust?
Break.
Perfect.
got them watching from Paris to Poppy, yeah. With this music was lurking, now I'm attacking. Now with the chatting, I just step up and make it happen. It's a lifestyle. Living young and restless, yeah, we quite wild. If I want it, I'ma get it talking right now. And I ain't got no regrets, it's my time now. Lights out when you see us talking moves. You don't know that's the topic. And if you talking juice, well then you know I got it. Then you know I got it. Nobody got it like me. You know.
Hey, you out there. Yeah, you, the one sitting in your chair with Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for joining us here today. Hope you guys are having a good time. VSM's having a good time with his 114 ADR, but Fugly, 125. He is smashing it so far in this half.
He had a lot of impact last half, man. Really good on like a couple of inner entries, had that back Hawes flank, had a couple of clutches. Really, really big half out of him.
Oh. All right, Fugly and Sam pushing together from lower. You even have Nifty pushing from upper. I think he's been able to sneak his way into here, so they're not going to expect him. But you can see the betway odds currently in favor of Envy, and why wouldn't they be after the comeback they had on that T side? But either way, still going to be a 3-on-4. Detona still have utility to use. Able to force Ryan back, but you can see the stack already on the inner sight. And Sam is looking to hit the shots, but PRT says no, he gets one. But one done might be in the cards for them. The bomb will be planted in the meantime, so even if they lose this round, they could have a very solid
They still won
round
the
two.
real war, right? Because they get the SGs next round.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
But it looks like it's still going to be closed out, though, as
Did they have
Kowsey will be
Oh,
alone.
they have the smoke to extinguish that.
If he pulls this off, I'm going to be a little disappointed in Envy, and well, the battle takes a little bit too long with Fugly, and they do hold on enough that Envy will close out the round and tie things up at 8 apiece, but it all comes down to this round, right?
Yep. 2 SGs at least on the way, I would imagine, for Detona, which means even though they lost the round, they still actually are better set up than CTs. It's this weird economic problem that we have in CS that for some reason, you know, Val doesn't feel the need to address. So this is just the reality that we live in. So it will be 2 SGs and 1 AK.
See, you say problem, I say feature.
All right, man. All right, Tim Cook.
I'm an optimist,
Yeah.
as you found out earlier in the green room.
Yes. You should work for Apple.
No thanks. Oh,
A piece.
so PRT gets gooshed up. Fug is able to push. They're still able to save the weaponry, obviously, so it's not too big of a deal for Detona, but losing a player off the bat and almost losing basically a second is not the ideal start for them. Envy, if they can recover, like if they win this round cleanly and recover the 2 SGs.
Oh yeah, they're rolling in it. I mean, especially with Detona having to take a full save, you know, they would be sitting real pretty and Fugly seems to be looking to put that in that direction. What a big little lineup on for the ace now after that. They just keep feeding this man. Will it blend is the question. The answer from Fugly is a resounding yes as he finds a 5th on the round. Moves up to 27 kills in the game. With what, at least another 7 rounds to play?
You know what that was, by the way?
What's that?
That better be the Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel power play of the day. If it's not, I'm gonna come to your houses, all the people who vote against him,
Okay.
and I'll say hi.
Let's say, like, let's not threaten people in a public forum with
Yeah,
the
definitely
video
not.
and audio evidence of said threat. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not going to pay well for you.
I have a very mean hi though. It won't be like a happy hi. It'll be like a hi.
I got you.
Kind of sinister a little bit.
Got another Zeus on the field. This time it's Lukazi. Looking to try to dance around the ladder, see if anybody was going to give him a chance to give them the, I don't, what is that called? Like at parties when you blow into it and like the little ribbon comes out?
All right, I take that back. That is the Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel power play of the day.
There you go. That's definitely a meme one that'll get thrown in the mix.
What is that called?
I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I know what it is, but
It's
I
like
don't.
a kazoo, but it has like a thing on the end of it that rolls
Kazoo
out.
with the ribbon?
Yeah, I don't know. Chat, please help. Even though I don't have chat pulled up, so I couldn't read it anyway.
You don't? I religiously read Twitch chat for all.
I found that it's really not good for the self-esteem.
Well, it's
reading
really
Twitch
good
chat while
for
casting.
learning a lot about the world.
Yeah.
Always have insightful comments. No copy pastas at all.
Nope.
And VSM, a little unfortunate for him. They still get the bomb down either way, and it's going to be a 1-on-2, so it has been not a terrible round
Eventful.
for Detona, because
Yeah.
they made it costly.
Yeah, and they got a bomb plant for extra money for themselves in their next buy. So all in all, not too bad for a round they didn't really have too much invested in.
I'm going to look this up now, because I'm really curious. What would we call it? Birthday
I don't know what you would
party-
even Google. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Birthday party,
noisemaker. Like, I don't know. Maybe that'll do it.
ribbon. Don't do that. Oh, okay. Well, my Wi-Fi's
are we
not
on?
working, so they're just, for the heck of it.
You get to see
Oh.
some,
Okay.
what's that?
So we got an image of it.
Okay. Does that help us?
It doesn't have a name.
Doesn't
It's
have a
just-
name
It's just
still,
a
so-
bulk toy party.
Just not,
Oh wait, here we go. Oh wait, no we don't.
great. Why don't you keep working
blowout
on
whistles. Blowout whistles.
that? Blow whistle.
Blowout whistles.
Blow out whistles.
Yeah.
Like a slide whistle, but with the ribbon on it.
Yeah. See, you learn things here on the ESL Pro
Yes.
League.
I feel like it needs a better name. Like, that's a really weak name. It needs to be marketed better. It needs a better brand. So
I can almost expect a German guy did that, because Germans are very descriptive with their words. And if you directly translate it, you get
Hey,
words
look
like
at this,
things
by
like
the
that.
way. I just
Let's
want
look
to
at
point
it.
out that Ryan has pushed all the way through Ivy and is now flanking back Halls. This is a huge maneuver that could net a very big result for Envy, as everyone's bunched up in box Halls. And it allows them to rotate 2 extra players over towards Inter very confidently. And a flank's coming in. This is so bad
Well,
for
they just need to
Detona.
not die, though. They need to not fall too quickly here on the site and give a chance for Detona to turn around. We can see Som get one, PRT and VSM chime in. Ryan's going to be here, but VSM's going to come around the corner. VSM's going to spawn him and take him down, so the rotation's not going to work out. I mean, the rotation's only as good as your
man.
front line.
That's
and
so
Nifty's alone.
rough. That's one of those rounds where positionally, Envy should win, 9 out of the 10 times. Unfortunately, that is the 1 out of 10 that they don't when they just don't get the kills they need. They just pick up on that flank so well.
You should not escape this. There you go.
Big round.
VSM, that was a solid round out of him.
And they only lost 1 player on that round, is even the crazier part, considering the fact that Envy were able to over-rotate and flank and get great timings. That's just wild.
We just need to, you need to buy time, right? You need to buy time to allow the flank to come through. Even
Yeah.
though it was so quick, you have to just stay alive a little bit longer in the site, maybe invest your utility just to stall for that time so the rotation can come
That's
through.
just Daytona defying the odds, man. Brute forcing their way through a stout defense and putting themselves on the heels of Envy. And a really good chance to stop the game because Envy obviously are going to have to take the save here. They do have the few Eagles and 1 P250, so they're not completely void of weaponry, but still very much on the back foot.
Well, again, Sabrosio is going to be the one with the op. And, VSM and the AK kills he got in the last round, why not? And it's a smart play. Again, we haven't seen VSM up too much. This is the only map we saw yesterday out of the 3 maps, and it came down to the final rounds before we saw it really come out, and of course in overtime. I don't want to count Envy out just yet, though. They still have the Deagles picked up. They can still do some serious damage. Ryan, well, is able to get one zombie waiting for his chance now, and there we go. Another 1D comes through. It's going to be a 3-on-3, not able to rescue any of these weapons just yet, unfortunately, and they're not really going to have a chance to. They're going to have to fight this one out with Deagles, and almost connecting yet again. Fugly, can he pick up where his team has left off? PRT getting close, I'd imagine not really going to have too good of a time here, and Detona will win the round. A little bit costly, but they're still taking
There's
it.
a couple of 1Ds that came out that made you want to believe just a little bit, but once both Eagles were down, it was just a P250 and USP left. You kind of knew how that was going to go. So it is 10-all, another close game on our hands. We had a lot of close games yesterday. Like the second series was both 16-14 maps. Of course, Envy was a part of both of those against ATK. And then Daytona series, when all 3 maps, one of the maps went into, I think it was just single overtime.
Yep, 19-17. Then we had a 16-12 and a 16-10.
No single-digit blowouts.
I mean,
So
to be
far this
fair,
stage.
that's what we should expect, right, out of the second group stage. So it's nice to see the team's able to pull that off. I'm actually really curious to see how Group B goes when we have 100 Thieves and Fury in
Oh,
there.
that's going to be so spicy. I cannot wait for that. But we still have 2 more days here of Group A to fend off first. Full buy up here. Detona trying to work themselves towards outer, but most of their forces towards this side are being held up by the smoke and Ivy. They try to force their way through. It's not going to be fruitful, at least not for them. The defense is still here as well. Ely taking over that position from Android as the stand-in from the coach role. Found 1 kill, so much damage as well to PRT, and they're still being held up. And this VSM just sitting here like, man, I'd really love to hit outer together, guys, but you can't get any forward progress.
Did they not expect it? Oh, okay. That's a little unfortunate in timing right there. It's able to get some sort of presence, able to push out of Ivy. Now it allows VSM to push out from middle. Nifty being naded down to 35 HP, but Psalm's already on the flank here, trying to get around behind VSM. And again, alleviate some sort of pressure, but VSM is just winning out on these duels, winning out on these trades. Nifty's gonna uncharacteristically miss a shot, but he will follow up with the second. Now it comes down to Tiburcio and PRT in a 2-on-2 with 35 seconds left to go, but Fugly's alive, and Fugly has 27 kills. Time is on the side of Detona, but unfortunately they don't have the luxury of watching every single angle.
And also PRT's position was spotted, so they have a rough idea on where he is. He is going to be backing off. He does have the bomb still in his possession. Could maybe look to try to swing this bomb around. But he kind of has an idea where these CTs are, so he might be able just to walk forward and plant kind of that default position. Especially with that kill now, he will walk over, does get this bomb planted, no question about that. But Fugly is in prime position to still find the victory, especially with the low health on PRT.
Fugly saw him. He saw him on the jump up, 100%. You can see him coming around the side, able to finally close that one out and really saving around for Envy. Considering they did have a massive advantage, VSM was basically the one to open up the possibility to have a chance to get the bomb down. So in the end, good job by Detona, but Envy playing a little bit better there and do take the lead back to 11-10.
Yeah, great job by Fugly, who's continued to perform very, very well this map. When you think about this Envy team, you don't really ever think about Fugly as kind of being a star-level player of the team. He's more of kind of a role player, more of a support-type player. Definitely a guy who, at different points in his career, which is a very long career at this point, has been a really solid guy. But I know that whenever he played on like CLG and Energy, a couple other teams, he seemed to really kind of fade. But definitely doing well here so far in this second group stage, excuse me, of EPL.
Thing is, they need to keep up that pace. Again, as we mentioned before, they've already lost a series so far in this group. Put them already at a disadvantage considering only one team gets through, and then we would only have one match to play there after this. I'm not even gonna get into how the tiebreakers work, because you know what? Last time I tried, I completely messed it up on air. But you know he's not messing up. Fugly gets the first kill, does back away to keep a man advantage. Smart play by him.
Fugly continues to deliver for this team. I think he's up to 30 now after that one. Indeed. See if we'll just keep it going all the way through. It would be one of the key pieces for Envy to get this victory, to actually secure this map pick, despite some of our doubts about whether it was the right choice. Detona still bulk their forces over towards Ivy once more. This time there is no smoke or any initial defense really putting them to a halt. So they will get a good amount of forward progression.
Flashback comes through, and wow. Actually, that was out of Tiburcio. That was a teammate out of Ryan throwing that in to allow him to speak around, but they lose the battle there. Psalm, in the meantime, takes down VSM, and Nifty will be overrunning the site, but the man advantage still in the hands of Envy. Unfortunately, the weaponry not looking too good, though, as they have the 2 SMGs. Not able to recover any weapons just yet. The bomb looking to be planted out of PRT, but Psalm playing on the edge of switch, and he hear it, and he gets the bomb down. PRT will fall, and it's all in the hands of Tiburcio against 3 players who all peak at basically the same time. And Envy will win another round. Come on, Psalm. Where's the woos?
Yeah, I'm really surprised, actually.
Maybe he like heard his like voice.
I don't know. Maybe he's trying something different. Not sure. I think it's just because they've never like been dominantly ahead or having like these big round winning streaks. I guess it's been still a tooth and nail game all the way through. So we do have the timeout coming out for Detona, their second one taken of the game. It's getting to that critical point for them right now. I mean, Envy is sliding up to a 12-10 lead. Obviously, economy is going to start being a factor for Detona in a big way as we keep going. So they need to figure something out. Again, Train's kind of one of their maps they've usually been very comfortable on. Next to Dust 2, I think it's kind of the other map that they really favor, which is actually our next map. So getting a victory here is something that they really desperately need. Again, we talked about this already. If you lose this series, there's no chance you're making it to the finals.
Yeah, 100% true. And obviously there's one team in this group that it affects even more. I'm not sure officially how it works. I'll ask one of our League Ops guys in the break. but Singularity got fourth place in group, so they should be in a relegation, if I'm not mistaken. But if they qualified for the finals, would they still have to play in relegation? That I don't know.
Yeah, that is definitely a little bit of a pickle, isn't it?
We'll get that clarified in a second, as Lucauzi's going to open things up. Yep, desperately needed these rounds too, considering it's getting very close to being down a map, and Ryan's not going to win on the trade again. Lucauzi able to do it time and time again on his second kill of the round at 27 in total. They do clean up Som. Nice little placement of players there.
Yeah, Lucauzi's been the guy who's been kind of going toe-to-toe with Fugly throughout this map. He's also had some very impressive numbers for his team. 2 big kills in this round to open up this outer bomb side. A very good chance to go ahead and get that victory as the bomb does get planted. Fugly on the flame through the box halls. Nifty here still towards CT spawn.
They've got no money though.
Yeah, saving these weapons is certainly going to really be what they need to do.
I mean, if they can get like clean kills and back away, it might help a little bit, but obviously the lost ball is going the way of Detona. Thank you, Prius. Should be able to buy up into the next round relatively cleanly.
Yeah, I mean, saving all 4 rifles is really huge for them because of that low economy that they're working with. So they will move up to 11. A real good chance to tie this thing up here as the money's not really there for Envy. Remember, they've been on the winning streak. They haven't had any loss bonus built up, so it is right back to dire straits for the North Americans after a pretty solid run. I mean, remember, they won the last 5 rounds of the first half. They got the 3-0 start in this half. And they won a couple of key gun rounds pretty quickly after that. So they've really been in control of this game for quite a while. But now we're seeing Detona rise back up.
I mean, Detona did have what was an 8-2 lead.
Yep.
And 5 rounds straight for Envy to pull it into an 8-7 half. So they're able to kind of collect themselves in this series. And Nifty's going to have a lot of pressure coming his way. Does not work out for him, unfortunately.
One of the only guns that they had right there already lost, and no one really there to be able to pick it up and recycle it and put it back into use. That's a very risky maneuver to do. Normally you want to keep that gun surrounded by pistols so you can kind of keep it in rotation, but not going to be the case here. Luckily for them, Fugly has picked up 1 kill, so they're still somewhat in this fight, but still well behind.
If there's someone I want with a rifle in this round, it's going to be Fugly with how he's been playing so far in this series. 31 kills, and he's going to look for more. Going to spot out 1 player through the smoke, but unfortunately will not be able to get the kill. He'll actually fall from that. In the meantime, 1 kill going to come through for Envy, but not enough to really do any damage to the economy at Detona, and they get 1 step closer.
I'm actually kind of surprised Fugly didn't back away and save that gun, because again, their economy still isn't great. So having a free weapon into the next round would have actually been very beneficial. Now we've got an all tied up game again, still a very fragile economy for Envy. Another very clean victory for Detona, which is great. It's allowing them to start building up some bank. You can see it now. Yeah. They have 3 players, you know, 4,000 or higher. That's really going to help them out in the later rounds of the half when needed. Especially at one point, it was really low. There was a chance for Envy to actually punch if they could have won a force or something like that. They didn't get it, and so now they're in a really bad position. Have to just go for the upgraded pistols in this one, so Detona can take the lead back for the first time in a while.
Healy trying to hold on with the deagle towards Ivy. I was expecting maybe like some aggressive play out of Envy to catch him off guard, but as we saw in the last round for Nifty, it didn't work out at all. And we have to remember that Detona was able to pull off 10 rounds on the T side when playing yesterday against Singularities, so.
It was like the one T side that actually looked like they knew what they were doing. You know, a lot of the other T sides that we saw them play yesterday looked very lost. I think it's like the right way to put it, but definitely trained. They looked a lot more suited for the map. So we are going to be seeing them taking control of Ladder Room, have some presence towards Ivy with Lucauzi, and of course still some presence towards T-Connector. So they're going to be splitting outer all 3 ways. It's an inner stack from Envy. They had to gamble on something with just pistols. Unfortunately, they have rolled the dice not the way they wanted.
Still some decent damage being done by Envy. ESM, Turtle, both below half HP, just not able to turn them into kills, unfortunately. And they're going to rotate back in towards CT spawn. The bomb will be planted for Detona. And I think just going to save. No, I was just wondering if they're going to save these pistols into the next round. But I think looking for kills would be a nice little bonus for them.
Yeah, obviously if you can try to get a kill and carry a gun over into the next round, that would be the most ideal of situations, but not going to be the case here. They did lose that 1 player that did go hunting, and now it is just Fugly and Som kind of sitting back towards CT spawn and inner. Obviously, Detona doesn't really have anything to gain by chasing here. They want to keep their money going in case Envy wins around. You know, they can get right back to full buying. So this will be just a little bit of a standstill after the victory from Detona. They now will go up 13-12 again. They haven't had a lead since really the first round of this half. you know, when it got tied up by the 3-0 start from Envy. So this is a great little maneuver here for the Brazilians. I feel like their performance isn't nearly as top-heavy. Like, you're seeing the frag distributions a little bit more even on that side. They have, like, you know, VSM at 23. They had Tiburcio at 17, so...
Like, how's he, I think, what, 28?
Right. Meanwhile, you look at the other side, it's really just been the Fugly show with 31 kills. I mean, Nifty and Ryan have had their moments, but, you know, again, Son continues to be very quiet. And Ely, who we talked about yesterday, wasn't really much of a fragging burden. I mean, he didn't have, like, big games, but he didn't seem to be that far behind the pack. This game, it's a different story. He's really struggled, 46 ADR, 9 and 19. And on the CT side, you can't have that because, you know, he's the one filling in for Angelo over at Ivy, and that's a very key position of the map to try to fend off, to try to limit the options for T-sides on these outer executes.
And it seems like that's been a lot of presence out of Detona too. Like a lot of the rounds they've been able to take, I feel like stem off of the Ivy control. We think back to VSM waiting in T mid, just like waiting for his opportunity to push out, right? You had to wait for his two players to push out Ivy, they get the kill.
I mean, here's the thing, like, you can cover for someone who's not fragging well on T side because, you know, maybe they're more of a support factor, throwing nades, setting up other players, you know, you can kind of do it. But eventually that guy must be responsible for one area of the map. And if he's not able to guard that well, then you're gonna have a lot of problems.
Oh, they've switched him up. He's gonna be watching towards Pop. They got Som actually watching towards Ivy. They do have the double up set up with him and Nifty.
That's a big adjustment from Envy. This is what they hope will be the solution to all of their problems they've had these last few rounds.
They're almost gonna need it to be the solution too.
Yeah, definitely. They're running out of opportunities to try to make things happen. The jump spot there. Som, of course, now knows he must deal with someone from each side of Ivy. We'll just go ahead and dump his utility and kind of start backing off a bit. Maybe start helping focus on T-Con a bit more, at least for now. That smoke is still up.
Well, one big problem we saw at Detona yesterday in their match for Singularity was on T side, they left things down to the wire. There's a couple of rounds where they really had to just rush in towards sites because they had no time left to work with. This time, we haven't really seen that too much out of them. I think maybe one round is a little bit close on time, but that was about it.
Yeah, definitely been able to manage the clock a lot better today. And that was really the case on Train yesterday as well in that third map of the series. Really just the first two maps who looked a little bit indecisive. But this round, they seem to know exactly what their choice is going to be. And that's going to be them gathering up towards these inner halls. They do still have Lukazi as like a flanking option, or to at least, you know, maybe even create more pressure to keep players in place towards outer. They also have Turtle just kind of making sure that no one's pushing through T-Con. But here comes that utility into the inner side.
Looks like more of a bait, though. Turtle's able to win out in this exchange.
Yep.
Ely not unfortunately able to get the kill that they kind of needed to hold some more positions on the map. But Ryan will luckily be there, and Ryan's been having a terrible game. You can see, what was that, VSM just pushing out straight through lower into the smoke, and just like that, just as quickly as the round kicked off, Envy are going to take it.
That was a nice idea. I mean, they had three initially towards inner to throw all the utility and actually sent VSM through sidewalk. So the whole play was that they were faking inner. They were going to go towards outside. They had the player coming out. Ivy Trush even picked up a kill on the aggression at T-connector, so he had that route opened up. So they were going to do a really nasty outer split like through Z, coming through inner, which is super dangerous for CTs, and they had everything else covered as well. But unfortunately for them, VSM got caught. He never had any impact on the round, and they managed things well outside. Like, yeah, Turtle gets the one kill on the T-Con push, but everything from that point forward still went the way of Envy. So a big victory to get us going to tie things right back up at 13 apiece. Another timeout comes into play. Only a couple left here for Detona. They have one left after this one. And obviously, this is when you need to be using your timeouts because it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. Everything that happened before this moment doesn't matter anymore. Now we're all tied up with very few chances left to win this thing in regulation. Pretty much have to win out to do so. You can only afford one more real error.
Economy's starting to be troubling for Detona, too.
Yeah.
Obviously still have money to buy up next round, but...
CT economy is also pretty rough, though, man. That's why this round's so important. This is where you put your best foot forward.
Let's see if a team will be walking or crawling. Ely able to get the kill. They've rotated him now over towards ladder room. Big kill on a VSM. Early man advantage for their side, and also VSM's been such a nuisance for them.
Yeah, that's a big kill to get. It's also kind of a reckless play from VSM. There's no utility behind that. I guess he just thought that he had a better spawn, was going to get the better timing to get into the room, but Ely was right there to greet him. Extinguishes the Molotov as well. Gets to keep holding this angle. I mean, these Molotovs have been riddled useless by Detona. Doesn't get them any space. It's just kind of wasted money. So great job by Ely.
Fugly. Oh, it gets caught with the smoke out. Gonna stay alive, though. He's got Nifty to support. Nifty needs to hit some shots,
Almost
and he gets the double
2-for-1.
connection. And Nifty and Fugly together are pretty much locking down this inner side. All comes down to the last player of Lukazi. Who's going to somehow still survive, but not for much longer. Som comes in, and the double-off investment going to be paying off here yet again for Envy.
Yeah, really big on Envy. They were able to reinforce their inner defense there with Nifty's AWP, adding to Fugly, who normally plays that position. Again, Ely did a great job getting the initial 5-on-4. So again, a little bit of reckless, disjointed play there from Detona is going to cost them. And they did crack under pressure yesterday as well. I mean, I think in that series yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, in map 3, I think they had a lead. I think they were up like 12-9, something like that. And then they wound up kind of just falling apart as they were approaching the finish line. And that's what allowed that game to go into overtime. And eventually was Singularity who came with the victory off the back of it. And you're starting to see some of those cracks form again here. I mean, again, at one point, they had an 8-2 lead. They had their chances throughout this second half. They went on a pretty good little run of 3 rounds in a row to take a lead back. But now, all of a sudden, we see Envy back out in front.
You look at the money for Detona. You lose this round. I mean, they obviously have some loss bonus coming into it, but you might be losing the map here. We still have, obviously, Dust 2 to come up next, and Inferno if we get to a 3rd map. But it seems like confidence has finally come back on the side of Envy. We're starting to see Som get a little bit loud. He's hitting some shots as well. The double-up setup starting to work out for Envy, and Detona have yet to have an answer for it.
Yeah, and obviously this round they don't even have that much to work with. They buy all that they can. They have to. They don't want to give Envy map point for free, but as you can see, it leaves a couple of players here a little bit stranded, and the overall utility for use of execution is not there either. Like, they have, what, 1 smoke, 1 molly, 1 flash now, but they are trying to still just brute force their way in with their limited firepower. Unfortunately, they are not trading efficiently. We're seeing Envy out in front.
Tiburcio, I think, just needs to stay alive right now. They got to hope that PRT, actually, I think he's been spotted out. I think Fugly has noticed him in the inner bomb site. Maybe Tiburcio's going to rotate back around to go for the plant here, but I don't know if Envy is really going to let that happen. If they can deny it, that would be phenomenal, because then Detona would really have scraping the barrel for any sort of weapon into the next round. And with 50 seconds left, it looks like Tiburcio's going to try to get a plant down. And he might have the opportunity, because no one's playing aggressive on Envy's side towards inner. So he might be able to just drop down, get the bomb planted. He's going to have to make his move very quickly, though.
Actually doesn't go for it. Decides to try to press 40. Wants to go for the victory. Wants to go for all the marbles. Tries to move up close here with the SG, but is not going to get even close to it in that duel. Fugly continues to wreak havoc on this map. Big numbers for him, and that is indeed map point for Envy. And the money, it's, I mean, there's not very many polite words you could say about it for the Detona side.
What word would you choose?
Profanity, really. Just words I probably shouldn't say on air. Trying to think of a more family-friendly way to put it. It's in the bin.
Bad?
Yeah, real bad.
Yeah, not great at all. You can see just the MAC-10, the only quote-unquote weapon. I mean, obviously the Deagles, I think, might be a little bit more effective than MAC-10. Turtle hasn't been able to do too much with it. Not able to get really close proximity fights. Ryan pushing out, though, might get caught out, and that could be 2 weapons for the side of Detona. Envy try to change things up and get aggressive, and now they are going to be punished off of this.
That just seems like the not necessary. You know that they have low economy. You have double op. There's no need to push into those close-range weapons like that. I don't know that that was really the right call, but we'll see. At least they still have, you know, that breathing room of a final round to play for. And they can still bring this one back. Nifty's going for the re-aggression. Let's get 1 kill. There's just too many Ts and too close of a proximity for Nifty to be able to escape. And we also saw VSM find the frag onto Fugly, so now it's all on Som. This is not looking good. I just don't understand that Ivy push, to be honest with you.
Seems like the downside is way worse than the upside there for them, when they could have just held back. And
the way they've been
forced
playing has been fine. I mean, again, you have double op, play the long angles. The best gun they had was a MAC-10. They had some Teagles. Like, you win that all day long by playing safer.
And now they have, what, the SG, the M4, and Hop?
Yeah. The only thing I can think is maybe they misread the economy a bit and thought there would be more on the T side than that. I don't know. Maybe they did lose a little bit of track. It is sometimes hard to do the fast math on the fly.
I mean, let's be fair, though. It's not like Envy have really done that aggressive IV
sure,
push
you
too
can
often.
call it a mind game situation, a nice little curveball, a change of pace. I'm all for changing pace and being dynamic on your CT side, but that's like the one way that Detona can win. Whenever they're stuck using a MAC-10 and a bunch of pistols, it's pushing into them.
Yeah.
So that's something that I feel like you would do when you're on the force buy, when you're just on the pistols, you want to make a play like that, or maybe an even gun round. That's why, again, maybe there's like a misread on the economy. Who knows? But, well, all that matters now is just this final round of regulation. Are we going to see an overtime? Are we going to see Envy win by the closest of margins? That's what we are going to be left to answer, is now is Envy the one taking the timeout.
Well, you know what? They had 2 16-14s yesterday. Just unfortunately for them, they were on the losing side of that.
It's been a bit of a marathon for them.
Maybe they can be finally on the winning side for once. We're obviously going to find out after this timeout kicks off. But credit to Detona. I mean, to pick up those kills, we can obviously question the Ivy push. I think we can almost, at the same rate, maybe question the Nifty push with the op, because obviously, yeah, one kill's
At that
nice,
point, you have to go for it, I think. I mean, at that point, like you're so far behind in the round, you have to try to go for that kind of play.
But you had Som and Z watching mid. You had, with an op, you had Nifty with an op that maybe could have held back a little bit in Ivy. I mean,
I would say that play from Nifty is not nearly as questionable as how the round opened.
Okay.
I think that's like a risk worth taking. Either way, final round in front of us. There is still a pretty good buy from the Envy side. They still retain the double AWP setup. The only thing is Ely has the MP9 and the utility is a bit limited, but they do have kits still for use if they have to retake or something like that.
oh, Nifty. This could be big for him.
Another leg shot. That's depressing. They really want to get that clean kill, but at least he's been able to do some damage, and most importantly, he didn't take any damage in return, and he got away. So all good, no harm, no foul. And he has a read on the situation. Knows that they had a lot of inner halls presence early. Now, obviously, that doesn't tell you everything because they could still go back to ladder or something like that. But it allows you to kind of entrench your two players here at inner and have a pretty good defense set up.
Good little Molotov and smoke to come through, but the unfortunate part is that they don't have much utility left to use now. It's still a minute left to go in the round. So maybe Detona would go back to an inner hit once the smoke has faded. At least Envy, in the meantime, have been able to gain some middle control, setting up a little bit of a crossfire here between Ely and Ryan. And they're still leaving Som back with an op, letting him play a little bit passive over towards Ivy. With 30 seconds left to go, Detona are going to have to make a decision. They're going to have to make a move here. Will it be overtime? Will it be the first map loss? We're going to find out in the next 30 seconds. Ely can come up big here. Close and personal. He's going to get one. At least takes one player with him. And VSM leading the charge here. Som not able to quite hit the initial exchange.
Yeah, and smokes up on his face as well as he tried to get a new angle over towards the old bomb train. That's allows Tees to press forward here, perhaps even get this bomb plant. Nifty trying to flash through that smoke and set up perhaps a push from Fugly out of Z. Som, in the meantime, connects the frag, so they had the main advantage now, but it's quickly lost.
Oh, Fugly. Ryan, a lot of pressure coming onto these two players. Ryan's getting the first kill. Helps put some pressure in from the backside. Fugly's going to lose on exchange. They know exactly where the last player is going to be. It will be Ryan in a 1-on-2 to save the map potentially for Envy. He does have a kit. He does have the first kill, but he doesn't know exactly where Lukowski's going to be, but he does spot him out. Lukowski will check the bomb. Not going to be stuck, and Lukowski will save them through. We will be hitting in overtime here on our first map of the series.
Yeah, extra rounds are going to be required to determine how things will go here on our opening map of Train. A very tense one, and it's really hard to tell who's kind of in control. I mean, if you're looking at recent momentum, it's Detona, but if you were to ask me who looked the more impressive team throughout the game, it seemed like Envy to me, especially how well they recovered in the first half on their T side. Early and in mid-half, they played really good CT. Again, they just made like a couple of big mistakes towards the end to allow Detona to come back was really the only problem. So if they can kind of regather themselves, I think they still look a bit like a front runner.
When you think back again to that round number 29, where they pushed out of Ivy.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Double up coming back in for Envy, obviously, with the 16K they're gifted. They've been, I'd say, like, what, 100% successful? I'm trying to think of how many rounds they won versus lost when it came to actually using the double up, minus the round where they got aggressive towards Ivy.
Looked really solid.
Well, speaking of aggressive,
that's an odd one. Definitely unorthodox. It did not pay off. Luckily, Ely has been able to trade it right back. He's got a good eye on things over towards Ivy. Unfortunately, he gets caught in awkward space. Ryan does get one back. He's pretty quick into ladder.
Pretty sure Nifty just saw Lukowski there. That's where we're seeing Fugly kind of sit back in towards Z, knowing exactly about the player and towards CT Hell. But it's still a 3-on-3, and there's still so much time left to go for Detona. There's no necessarily a need of commitment towards the outside bomb site, with players already set up. Looks like they might try to go for the plant, but Ryan just snuck through. He's been able to pick up 2 kills just like that. And that's all in the hands of PRT. He does have the bomb. He does have the drop on Ryan. Ryan's looking and, well, can't look without a head, unfortunately. 40 seconds left to go. And PRT still could win this. Very good chance, but Nifty will be able to eliminate him from long range with the op and get Envy back in the lead.
Big round from Ryan, though. The way he was able to get through ladder so quickly, I went with 3 kills on the round, was just massive stuff. We talked about how Ryan stepped up big yesterday. He looked like a much improved player compared to what we saw throughout all 3 of the games they played in the first group stage. And now here on Train, he's been able to find some impact in a big round for his team. Especially that heaven kill. That was a real nice one. Good adjustment of the game and a 16th round for Envy.
I think when we saw Envy have money, they didn't really drop too many rounds on the CT side. I think they kind of hit this awkward stint where they didn't have all the utility they needed to delay pushes and to kind of hold and stave off Detona. A lot of flashbangs coming through. Nifty's like gonna miss that first shot, unfortunately. Won't miss the second though.
Yeah, good job there to just kind of re-peek off the boost in position. The boost has not really been used throughout the game, so definitely caught Detona off guard, and Envy are building off the back of it very nicely with these follow-up frags.
And again, Ryan, another kill comes through, all down to the last player, PRT, and well, they know where he's gonna be. Fugly coming in from behind. They're gonna have him locked completely in towards the ladder room, and I would imagine there's no way you're gonna fight your way out of this against 4 players, but let's see if PRT will have a chance. Let's have time on his side. I feel like his time is running thin.
Oh yeah, he is just so trapped in here. It's actually unreal. Just toying with their food right now as Envy, it feels like. It's getting real rough on PRT. Has nowhere to go. I mean, it's just
like, where do you go from here?
It's just a waiting game, right? Like, it's thank you. I mean, I don't know what to do with that situation.
Yeah.
It's just stuck in the corner. And so it is the 17th round now for Envy, so flawless thus far here in the overtime, which is great considering kind of the cooling off they had, the lost opportunity to close out the game, as they did have map point for a few rounds there at the end.
Well, upside for Detona, if obviously after this round they're going to swap to the CT side, is that they did go 8-2 at one point. Downside is they did lose the next 5 rounds, so.
Yeah, definitely they had a decent CT side, yeah. So that could help them out a lot. Especially if they can figure out what went wrong those last 5 rounds and make some adjustments. Oh, the house, that's a yikes. That's so unfortunate. He thought he'd be able to safely cross, but there was just so much aggression from him on this inner side, and he got absolutely busted.
Well, we saw VSM do something similar towards the ladder room before. So a couple of bodies just being thrown away for Detona. Speaking of VSM, he's able to equalize things at 4 apiece. The dude just trying to back away on the site. VSM pushing the smoke, gets a kill, and Detona, they're going to be in this round here. A very good chance to pull this off as well as he gets another kill. That's 3 for him in this round, leaving it all on Ryan against 4.
Really wild play here from Detona, pushing smokes, crazy antics. The gimmicks come through in a big way, leaving Ryan all alone. He's played well, but this is a very tall ask of him.
Gets the first. His position's been given up. Time is starting to run thin here. He only has 1 flashbang to work with. He's got so many angles to clear as well. The unfortunate part is VSM, I think, just trying to stay alive considering how low 2 players are on his team. He just wants to make sure to allow Tiburcio to use that up to their advantage. And they will take a round on the T side. And they will swap now at 18-17.
So they do at least ensure that it isn't a clean sweep. They put 1 point on the board, keep themselves in the hunt of this first overtime. We do transition sides, see if Envy can kind of keep the T side rolling. Again, they did win those last 5 in regulation of the first half, so if they can kind of keep that pace, they still have a great chance to close. As again, it is MR316K, so we'll race to 19 rounds.
Look at PRT. PRT with the AUG.
Don't see it as often as you used to, but still certainly has its place in the game.
I mean, interesting that they actually go for that instead of the double op setup with VSM. But obviously, we haven't seen VSM op too much in these last 2 days.
That's very true. That definitely seems like a concerted effort to have Tiburcio being the primary opper in the second group stage throughout the majority of the games we've seen. A very quick fight breaks out towards outer, and it's all even. But thanks to Ely's push through inner, the wall pulled over Detona's eyes gives Envy so much space to work with and that bomb plant, and a real good shot now to get map point.
Even the threat of Ryan being in the outer sight, there's a lot of pressure onto Detona. They know now there's going to be a player from behind, and I would imagine Ryan should be able to flank in on this. Ely's going to miss out on a relatively easy kill on PRT, and just like that, it's going to come down to a 1-on-2. Ryan has to be the one to save this. I think they can almost assume he's going to be coming from this direction. Bomb's being defused, it's being stuck, and he tries to go for the spray, not able to get the kill, unfortunately. And Envy, honestly, I want to say they lost the round. That should have been theirs.
Oh, it absolutely should have been, especially with all the work that Ely did to get those 2 kills towards inner. Then he absolutely flubbed that final kill that he needed against a defenseless player who was not looking his direction. That was the freest of kills, and to not be able to get that really cost them the round. Obviously, Nifty you know, could have won his fight towards inner halls and still gave his team a chance to win the round, but he lost his duel as well. And those two duels is what decided the fate of that round, and it's all led to another tie situation.
Well, if you want to end it here, you got to win the next 2 rounds. Otherwise, potentially going to be going to a second overtime. We've actually had a lot of long games.
Yes, we have. Again, we have not had a game where the losing team did not get some form of double digits.
I think that's a good sign that every team deserving to be in the second group stage and relatively evenly matched between the 4.
Especially with all the stand-in situations and stuff that have really caused things to even have more of a weird vibe to them, I guess you could say.
So again, Turtle, it's been really successful on the CT side when it came down to ladder room. Envy haven't been able to use that, at least in the first half, to their advantage. I wonder if he's going to have that same kind of performance here in the second half of overtime. Seems like Envy aren't going to try to challenge out on this. We saw them try to go for the drop a couple of different times, and well, Turtle was able to win out on those exchanges. Again, leaving Fugly to be the one to kind of lurk off over towards Ivy, which is where Envy really got things going on their T side.
Now, it's like the big adjustments Envy had to make on their T side. Again, Fugly normally an inner halls player, but they're trying to kind of be a little bit more flexible with Ely kind of coming in for Android. You are going to see Fugly trying to push his way forward, and they are going to go for that outer split. A great entry onto Lukazi to kick things off, but PRT still here standing, and it's actually gotten the bomb down. Turtle also finding a great kill.
Tries to swing around, but does get dropped, and Fugly again. The flank comes through, the flank works out, PRT left. And well, not much longer as Envy do get themselves onto 18. One more round to go for them, and they'll close out the first map.
Yep,
But you can't count Detona out just yet.
No, there definitely is still a real chance we see a second overtime here. As close as this game has played out the last 6 or 7 rounds, it's been very back and forth. But yeah, Fugly continuing his winning ways. I mean, he had a 30 bomb pretty early on in the second half. He's continuing that reign of terror here going into this OT, perhaps putting his team into a 1-0 advantage in the series if they can finish off here. Ooh, that's a nice one from Ely.
Much needed kill too, considering they took a bunch of damage between him, Fugly, and Ryan. Ely on 17, he was actually at 9 kills for the longest time, but he's really stepped up when it's coming to this late stage of the second half.
So definitely, as you've noted, starting to have some impacts.
Forcing the rotations with the utility being thrown on the inner side. You can see Tiburcio rotating in to help out BSM, even potentially Lukazi going to go there, but they're leaving Ely to lurk in towards middle. Yeah. They might switch things up. They've drawn in enough defenders towards the inner site.
Yep. But PRT finally finds Ely out. This is going to allow the CTs to stabilize a little bit now. They have 2 to each site. That death actually has caused Envy to kind of reconsider. Now they're autoing back over to inner. The problem is that VSM is playing a really tricky position. If they do not check this, they could be in a lot of trouble. They have to obviously worry about Tiburcio with the AWP in the back line. That's going to be where most of their attention is drawn. So if they don't check this rock, the VSM hides behind, they're going to be in trouble, but they get both the kills towards inner instead, so the best result goes their way, and now they have a chance to close.
He's not fluffing here. Lukazi again comes in 2-on-2 as he gets the kill onto Nifty to give a chance for Detona to take it into second overtime. Even Ryan being shot from upper, and PRT will take him down. Now it's all on some into a 1-on-1. Lukazi.
He's got the Molotov. There's no smoke to extinguish.
Is he just going to stick it then? He's just going to hold it. Sam, you need to peek this one. You cannot let this one go for free. He's going to still hold on to it. He's going to pull it off, and Detona will pull it into a second overtime. Sam not checking the bomb. Wow, how is this? Where's the smiles?
Oh my!
How can he be so calm in a situation like that?
That's a rough one on Sam. I mean, he had the GG Molotov, but he just waited way too long to throw it. I don't know if he didn't hear the original tap on the bomb. Basically, if you hear them tap the bomb, you have to throw it immediately. You know, like especially if you're not going to peek, then you definitely have to throw it immediately to stop that from happening. Again, it's tense. We're getting into overtime rounds. We've been playing for a long time. You know, those little things will start to kind of creep up on you. Now, of course, in his mind, he probably thinks, hell, it's MR316K. Chances that guy's still got a smoke pretty high. He'll probably extinguish. So maybe he's trying to, you know, think of it that way.
Well, then wouldn't you peek earlier?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's really tough to judge 1v1s because there's so many mind games that go on there. But either way, what matters most now is that we're going to OT number 2. It's now a race to 22 rounds. It's still MR316K.
Well, Envy looking to pick up the pace with a quick outer hit. But you can see in the kill feed, it's gone all blue.
Yeah, it really has. Nifty was able to find one, but that's pretty much only successful thing that Envy's found in this round thus far, except Nifty continues to crack off, actually. Finds a second kill. Those fast outer plays are so hard to do on full buy rounds like this because there's so much CT utility to stop it from working. But Nifty, he just keeps getting gifted frags here. He created a couple opportunities on his own, and that one was just kind of handed over. So a hat trick for him in the round. It's back to a 2-on-2. They could win this round. They still have a lot of time left. Tiburcio's low on health. This is looking actually quite nice for Envy, especially considering how it started.
Yeah, you're saying it perfectly. Nifty being gifted kills. Like, having a man advantage to Detona, no need to necessarily push into this one. Yet they've given Envy a real chance. VSM, if he's going to go up this ladder room, he actually might get punished. Or, oh, turn around!
Oh my goodness. Is Nifty really going to single-handedly pull this off? It seems very likely now, as it's all on Tiburcio at the AWP. Now, there's still enough money to go for this, obviously, MR3 16K, but retaking 1v2 with an op, very difficult to do. Not even close. Nifty with the ace to make a big opening statement for Envy in this trial. That is overtime number 2.
That should have been a round that Detona should not have lost.
Yeah.
I mean, the VSM push-up, I'll give you that one. A little fortunate the timing didn't work out in your favor, but then the push in towards the middle to allow Nifty to get that first, or his third kill of the round. Super unfortunate, but hey, credit to Nifty to hit those shots when they need it. He's on 31 kills now. Gets the lead back in their favor. If they can continue on this pace, they will take the first map, which was, if I'm not mistaken, a map of their choice. Let's see, Nifty, I think he's being burned down to 36 HP.
Yeah, he has taken the brunt of the damage this round thus far. Fugly trying to see if he can find a little bit of something over towards Ivy, but smoke will kind of impede that pathway. Meanwhile, Lukazi taking up close on ladder room. Also, you got Turtle with very forward positioning over towards T-Connector, so Envy's losing a lot of space on the map. They're going to try to take this back, but this head stack drop has not worked for them in the past. Will it be better this time? Yes, it will. They don't lose a single player on that. Very well done. Timing favored them on that one.
He still did take a bit of damage, though. Ely
Sure.
down to 22 health. But Turtle pushed up in towards middle.
Yep.
He could throw a spanner in the works. Fugly's going to actually rotate back in towards there to help out. I think Turtle's going to hold his position in the meantime. And with 50 seconds left, Envy are looking for that inner hit. But Tiburcio's still going to be here with VSM. And he gets the first kill. Rotates his position, trying to stay alive, trying to look for another one potentially. Another flashbang comes through, binds him out completely, and it's all on VSM to hold on, and unfortunately, he's just not able to do so. Oh, what a shot at Tiburcio, taking Ely out of the sky. The Nifty fights back, he gets one. Still a man advantage for Envy, 3-on-2. And Nifty, the one with the bomb, is still looking for another kill. They have 20 seconds left, so they have a little bit of time to play with. And they just have more kills as well. Nifty gets himself 2 kills, Psalm on 2. And now we see them one step closer to closing out this map.
Yeah, 2-0 start here for them in this T side of overtime number 2. Obviously, their CT side is up to the task. They got a couple of rounds on that in the first overtime. And short of a couple of mistakes in regulation, their CT side was overall not too shabby. So they're in prime position to maybe finally finish this thing off, but we'll see what they can Detona do here. Still one more round to go on their CT side.
A little bit of a utility stacking towards middle. Detona trying to catch out some early damage. Turtle the one back towards ladder room. And they gone for the very early 4-man investment onto the outside side, leaving VSM by his lonesome. I swear English is my main language.
Yeah, just Envy sitting back with the triple Ivy set up here, taking it at a slower pace. Smokes do go down towards Sandwich and E-Box to give them perhaps a little bit of space to come out of T-Connector, and relying though on Nifty to try to see if he can't find something. He's got a good angle with the AWP to keep eyes on ladder or anybody who might be up close on Ivy, but now he's given up his position with that shot.
I'm not sure how Nifty gets that first kill when they knew he was already there, but Tiburcio will chime in.
Yeah, gets that trade back as you've noted.
Turtle, 2 big kills out of him. I think he's been quiet for, unfortunately, like a good portion of the second half of regular time. But what a time for him to start to stand out. And his little boost comes in towards Ryan. I don't think Tiburcio is going to expect this one, but it's still going to be a 2-on-3. And 30 seconds left to go. Envy have to make their move, and Tiburcio just too quick. Does get tagged up. It's all on Ely, and that will be it. Detona will take 1 round on the CT side. They're not out just yet. 20-19.
Indeed. Obviously, we could see 21-21. We could see a third overtime. That is definitely an option on the table, but Envy do have that slight edge as they transition sides to perhaps finish it off here now if they can find number 22. Big round from Turtle there to keep Detona in this race.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was not intentional, was it?
You mean like to put the turtle in the hair?
No.
The race?
Daytona.
Oh,
NASCAR.
no.
Okay. We were both completely different directions on that one.
There's a couple different ways you can go with making a race reference with the name Turtle.
Speaking of the man, not going to win on that fight versus Ryan, who gets some confidence.
That smoke's not what he was looking for.
We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll let that one slide.
He got the kills, so.
Yeah, that's what matters most.
Ely back towards an Ivy position, which I think we kind of agreed on that wasn't as successful, unfortunately, as they were hoping to. I think we saw Detona really punish this spot multiple times where they got a lot of T rounds off of it.
Yeah. Now he's basically out of the equation here. That smoke blocking him off, but there is still, of course, Ryan in that position with the AK up close. A little bit of a crossfire being established. They actually don't even really get to use that smoke to push forward on Ivy and get a real angle. Now it's reflashed and peeked by Ryan and cleared, at least for now. That means they're going to trust Ely to go ahead and kind of handle it solo. He still could have some support from Nifty as far as utility goes, but Nifty, of course, focused on other things over on the inner side.
And he's still handily locking down inner, though, so which allows him to have such a big stack on outer.
Exactly. Oh,
Awesome.
man. Oh,
what?
Great job there by BSM boosting up to get the kill on Fasan through the smoke.
Probably trying to hold, and again, peeks a little bit too wide there. That was a 1v2, and Detona should be losing on this one. Ely's going to peek around the side, and Tiburcio drops him, and now it's all on Nifty, who was alone at the inner site, wondering where his teammates did go.
That is pretty wild that Envy had 4 outer and basically lost every single fight. A lot of damage was dealt to several of the Detona players, but unfortunately, close does not count Counter-Strike. This is not horseshoes, it's not hand grenades. It is CSGO, and they absolutely got just completely crushed. Just pure brute force in Detona through Ivy, and TCon gets in the victory. I just don't know how you lose that kind of round. You have that much defense set up for that, especially with Nifty like having all the information in the world what's going on in her.
I think if Psalm doesn't fall there.
Yeah, that is definitely the big kill. Kind of cracked everything open.
And I don't think he necessarily played it wrong. It was just more if he doesn't die to VSM, then they would have had a little bit more stable control to lock down TCon. Either way, though, again, we're seeing Detona put a lot of presence on towards Ivy. Ryan's going to be the one to fall this time. They put Ely in a different position. He's off towards the ladder. And now Psalm again. Like, whoever plays Ivy just seems to be forced out, not really have a chance to be effective, at least early on in the round. Nick's going to push him to look for a kill, and that might have solidified this round for Detona with a 2-man advantage.
Does seem likely at this point. That's a big edge to get for Detona. You can understand what Nifty was trying to go for there, trying to even things back up after losing numbers elsewhere, but doesn't pay off, and now Detona will start charging their way into outer. Only Ely is really left to defend. It's a double inner setup on the other 2 players. Ely playing inside ladder. That Molotov does a lot of damage. He actually steps out and finds a frag and is still alive inside the ladder room. He is smoked off, but he's gotten a kill on ball. Some time in that spam through the bottom. Oh no, I thought it would stop the bomb plant, but it doesn't quite land the mark. It's very close.
I think Ely's going to be hurt on the quick rotate back around towards TCon. You can already see VSM waiting for this, and that's
big kill.
Yeah, I think that just gives them the round too.
Probably so, but they obviously might as well go for it considering the money. Unless they want to go double op, then I guess that's maybe the one way you would want to save these 2 weapons instead of trying to go for it. With Nifty only having $3,600, someone's going to have to drop them.
Falky's been on 37 kills, I feel like, for such a long time. I mean, we saw him be so effective in regular time, but when it's come to overtime, he's been struggling.
He definitely quieted down. I think he had 31-ish kills by like round 5 or so of the second half. So yeah, he definitely cooled off.
Now Detona have a chance to close out this map, where Envy had it previously in the first overtime. They seem to have a decent read. Like, again, they're punishing Ivy. They're not allowing anyone who's been playing that position to have any control. Maybe we're going to see Envy be aggressive this time. Maybe push out of Ivy would be the play here, but instead just going to be playing more of a standard kind of setup. And it looks like Detona were already kind of prepared for it with 3 players heading that direction. Quick little ladder room control being gifted over to VSM. I don't know. Okay, no, he didn't drop down. I've seen him do it in prior rounds. And he should have just free reign of it, as you're going to see here in a few seconds. The Molotov comes in to deny that for now.
So for finally, in the first time in a while, Daytona's actually in the winning position. They haven't had a map point in ages. In fact, I don't think they've ever had a map point until now. Indy were the ones kind of sitting out in front through the bulk of that second half. I think they were up at like 15-12 or something like that. Obviously, Daytona went on the run to get into the first overtime, and then it's been back and forth ever since. But now they might finally steal this map pick away from Envy. A couple players are softened up on the Daytona side, that could be said. But still no deaths have come out just yet. We might see one now. Ely up close on Olaf, finds one, but it is quickly traded back.
Big initial kill coming in for him. Som as well chiming in to help lock down Ivy. Spots out another player, gets a connection onto Debercio, and he takes no damage off that exchange. Turtle trying to flank around behind Som, and he might be successful. He's got an avenue to play with, but unfortunately Ryan will be there, and Ryan will get the kill, saving his teammate's life. Debercio has taken out Nifty. It's down to a 3-on-2. We could be seeing another overtime here, Dust, if somehow Envy can hold on from this one. With 3 players, they should be able to, unless PRT can play the spoiler if he can come around behind. No one's looking his direction. Finally, they do turn around in time. It's going to be Ryan again to protect Som.
They just cannot get this wraparound to work. And now they're running out of time. The bomb's out of his possession. The numbers are stacked against him. And that's going to be it. Another overtime. Overtime numero trace, like the first name of our beloved host. This is only the first game of the day, by the way. I just want to throw that one out there.
This is only the first map of the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we still have at least one more map to this. And then maybe another. And then we have another best of 3. And again, every single game yesterday was also just absolutely extended affairs.
I mean, to be fair, this is, like we said before, a very important match for both these two teams.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
lose this
you lose,
game,
you're done.
You have no chance.
Yeah, you lose the series, you're out. That puts you 0-2 in the group. No chance you're getting first place in the group after that. You can play spoiler tomorrow, maybe, but that's about the best you could hope for.
Let's see now. Detona still on the T side. If you just have the backup of Fugly, but again, Fugly's been quiet for a long time. It feels like so many rounds have gone by, and he just hasn't been as effective.
I feel like we're missing like something on these T sides. I feel like we're missing like a good, like elaborate set piece, like something that has a little bit, you know, beefier utility and a little bit better coordination. Like a lot of this has been like really slow play that's been based on picks and like maybe a couple of key duels each round that decide everything.
Again, the aggressive play out of Envy in towards middle. Ely's been, I think he's been successful in the sense of he's been able to get 1 kill, but typically the 1 kill comes through and he dies after. He's not able to escape with it.
Yeah,
Let's see if he can this time.
You got to be able to escape.
There we go.
This time he does get that extra bit, as you said, and now Ryan's pitching in also. So if he's going to clean this one up.
So kind of worthy peek there, just to spot out where the last player was going to be. Debercio trying to pre-fire that angle. Oh.
Not too far off.
There you go. Connects on to Nifty. But Nifty will get the last laugh, and that will be Envy taking the first round of the 3rd overtime.
I feel like Envy are maybe 1 or 2 Som woo screams away from winning this game. That's the missing element, maybe. That's the piece of the puzzle we haven't seen yet. Not going to get it, of course.
The woo?
Yeah.
I think he gave like a small one.
Yeah, the game is too tense for that kind of stuff, I suppose. Nifty's been the one that's like picked it up. Even with Fugly going quiet, Nifty has kind of maintained pace, especially these last few rounds of overtime.
Well, him and Ryan, like even Ryan's on 37 as well. Look at this aggressive style coming out of Detona right off the bat. Saw him able to get the first kill though, and Ely, again, playing the edge of a smoke, trying to deny an avenue, but Turtle's been able to sneak his way forward. Need to deal with Som though. Ely actually, is he gonna push the smoke? Doesn't really seem to matter. Som gets the kill. Ely will push the smoke and will turn around, take down Debercio. And look how clean these rounds are now being here for Envy. Where was this Envy before on the CT side?
Yeah, these have been pretty much flawless CT rounds out of Envy. And yeah, there you go. Something for Envy to get excited about now. This might finally be the X factor that was needed in overtime to finally put an end to this game. Getting clean, quick victories, something we haven't really seen very often when it's coming in here from spades to the North American side.
A little kill on a Som as well right off the bat. Follow kill on a Turtle was good.
That's the other thing that kind of happened. Som was mega quiet in the first half of regulation and really throughout all of regulation, but he has really, since he got the second op in his hands, been a lot more impactful on the CT side.
He's been quiet since yesterday, too,
Yeah,
because he was
that's
bottom
very
fragging
true.
first team.
Yeah, especially after being so good in the first stage. And remember, like, Envy finally turned the corner in the first stage. They got a big victory over Furia. They beat Swole Patrol. They got to this, you know, section of the group stage, something they weren't able to do last season. And so it seemed like they were turning the corner maybe a little bit, but then yesterday they took the loss, right, plummeting back down to earth. But here's their chance to pull a victory here on this map. In great position to do so at the 23-21 lead.
It really seems like...
Oh, it's so dangerous. They do get away. They took a lot of damage on the way out. And now Ryan gets to reclaim this position.
Envy have just had such good control, like understanding of where Detona are going, too. They've been stacking the right positions. Ely's been able to play around towards middle and punish Detona. And he will be doing it yet again. Unfortunately for him, there's no one coming that way, and Sam might have some pressure coming his, considering we do have Lucalzi and PRT there to deal with them. But it seems like Detona just run out of answers, and where did PRT get that kill from? Was that over? Oh, wow, he gets it over from Ivy, so no one actually watching that position.
Yeah, that's big because he thought that he was safe from that angle. That's why he backed up and still kept the forward position on ladder room. So that's a little bit of a miscommunication on who was covering what there that actually gives Detona a man advantage. And they are running out of time, though, so they need to hurry it up, especially because of the positioning of Fugly.
Smoke's coming through so they can get in towards the site. Nifty trying to hold on, though. The bomb be coming in from T-Con, and Nifty has so many different angles to watch from. Got Turtle, who's able to push out towards ladder. The Smoke's going to buy them some time. And speaking of time, 10 seconds left to go. They're going to go for the plant here. Nifty tries to go for the kill instead of killing the planter, and VSM gets the better of him. Sam, though, alive on the site, trying to do something, trying to keep Envy alive in this round. It's going to be a 2-on-4, though, and Fugly, who's been so quiet, needs some kills and won't have a chance. I think Detona should be able to pull off this round at least. A 23-22, 2-1 in favor of Envy after that half of overtime.
Yeah, I mean, Envy played really well the first round, so that round was real sloppy. Detona takes full advantage of it. They find themselves the one round they needed. We haven't had any 3-0 starts in these rounds.
Oh, Tabercio again. Just been so solid on the op.
Yeah.
He hasn't been like super flashy necessarily, but he's just been solid. He's just been a guy that you can depend on to get kills.
Sure. What are we going to see here now, though? Again, the new number you're looking for is, I don't remember.
25.
There you go.
Oh, look at this pace.
There's a player in heaven, though. We haven't seen a CT in heaven, I don't think, at all in this game. Maybe like one other time, and it is going to come fruitful for Detona, but he did a lot of damage before it was able to connect, so still an advantage here for Envy. Now they're swinging over to Inner. There's no one here defending as well, so they should be able to get this bomb plant at the very least.
VSM.
Uh-oh.
Is he going to be... Yeah, I wonder if he's actually going to push that smoke. Actually, he's going to. Ryan's going to fall from this. He's trying to flank from behind. Sam's not going to expect it. Just like that, it's become possible for Detona. It's all on Fugly, left to himself. And VSM, he basically just won the round.
He really did. I don't think they expected him to get there that fast, and also he used a good judgment. He didn't actually try to push through and stop the plant. He kind of waited it out, catches the player going up the ramp, and then catches the bomb train player way off guard. So a big round there from VSM, someone who has been kind of quiet yesterday in comparison to some of his teammates, especially considering how well he played in the first stage. Had his quiet moments as well throughout regulation, but comes up big on this round, and that's going to tie things all back up 23-23. Again, 24-24 means another overtime. It's very possible at this point.
Remember what you said yesterday?
What did I say yesterday?
Technically, we could be here till 2 a.m.
We could. I mean, there is no max limit on how long overtime can last in a game of Counter-Strike.
There's got to be like...
There's not, though.
There's got to be like a pause at some point, like by production or like admins, like, okay, bathroom break time for everyone, take a second, get back into the game.
There's nothing written in a rule book about it. I'm just saying, that's probably something we should address at some point, even though it's so unlikely to ever happen.
Yeah.
But tit for tat here in this stage of the round, but
there is 48-48. If we get to that point, we'll call a pause.
Okay. It's an abstract number.
I mean, I got a bottle here. They got bottles. If they're thirsty, obviously. Ooh, Turtle.
That did not work. That was not it, Chief.
It hasn't been successful, really.
It's only been successful like one time this entire game that they tried to do the double head stack drop down.
And it was only successful because they got down and the person wasn't in ladder room.
Use some utility. Throw a couple Molotovs in there to clear it out. To pop something. Just dry peeking it has not paid off a single, like, again, one time this whole game out of like 5 attempts or something like that. Sam, though, still has a chance. He did get the one kill he needed to have some hope, but Lucalzi is going to play a little bit of duck hunt there at the end, catches him jumping across, and so one round goes the way of Detona. And they still have now the opportunity to win this here and now, but at the very least, they've ensured themselves that they can't lose here now, right? They still at least have another overtime.
Did you forget how many overtimes we would be in if they tied it
It'll
back
definitely
up?
be the 4th overtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got that. We're cool there. I was trying to figure out how on to phrase that they've guaranteed themselves another overtime and have a chance to win.
At a minimum, would be going to their overtime.
There, that would have been the key phrase I did not have in my brain at the moment. So.
It's fine. That's why I'm here.
Yep.
Help each other out.
Yeah.
Let's see, though. Envy obviously trying to keep their hopes alive in this first map. I'm going to keep saying that. Only first map. We've had so many rounds being played.
Yep.
Not quite what we saw in EU with Nord vs. Big, but...
This map has lasted a little over an hour and a half, I think.
Well, don't worry. It took us like 4 hours to do game 1 yesterday.
Yeah. The whole best 3 did take like 3.5, 4 hours yesterday. Again, a lot of close games so far this second group stage.
And there should be. I mean, considering these teams are relatively equal, as we've been finding out.
I think that's pretty fair to say.
And getting to the Pro League Finals would be massive for all these teams. I mean, Detona to do it again, the other teams to do it for first time.
Yep.
When it comes down to this, Envy going to go for an execute on the inner site. We're going to have Tiburcio waiting with VSM. You have Turtle again, potentially on the quick rotate if they do use it. 50 seconds left to go. Smoke's being thrown in, and here we go. The push going to be coming out of Envy. They need to win this round and keep their hopes alive. Tiburcio will get the first kill, though, using the smoke to his advantage here to push it towards upper. VSM is looking for a shot, but Ryan will eventually be able to kill him off. Now down to a 3-on-3 as Turtle was able to get a kill, but he does not go up ladder. He actually rotates back towards Z to help out. And PRT, he needed that kill. That could have almost solidified that map victory for them. Now comes down to Lukowski and Turtle. 1 kill between the 2 players. Lukowski, who was so effective and so instrumental to their victories before, is not able to win out in the trade against Fugly. And now Turtle against 3. He's got time to work with. He doesn't have the kill, though. And we will be going to, yet again, another what, Dust?
I believe the word you're looking for is overtime.
Very true. What's the like longest game you've commentated before? Like,
I actually, with Blue, we casted a Zotac tournament in America. I think it was maybe last year. I think it was 2018. Yeah, and we casted the longest ever 2-0 in CS:GO history.
The longest ever 2-0. How many rounds did it go to?
I think the first map was like 6 or 7 overtimes, and the second map was like 3 overtimes, 2 overtimes, something like that. So it's like the longest 2-0.
Well, you guys earned your salary that day.
Yeah, we did.
Well, here we go. It's the next overtime.
It was Swole Patrol versus either, I think, Sharks, maybe? I have to go look that up, but yeah.
Kind of like blocked it out of your memory.
It was either Sharks or Furia.
Oh, PRT go for the exchange. Not able to quite get the spray down to Ryan, but will eventually close that one out. In the meantime, able to turn it back into a 2-on-2. Tiburcio playing up so close, and doesn't seem to matter for him as he gets the kill. Now Nifty is going to have his chance. Not looking towards Tiburcio, and well, that'll be him closing out the round. That's going to be 2 for him, and puts Detona back in the lead.
They've been playing behind most of the game. I think they had like 1 map point opportunity in the second overtime.
Yep.
So
well, third overtime.
Yeah,
this is 4.
So yeah, it's great to see them being kind of the front runner for a change, something because they haven't been able to have the luxury of very often. Big round for them. Just getting aggressive in the inner halls. PRT catching a couple of big kills with the AUG. Again, the race at 28 is now what we're looking for. 27-27 would mean a 5th overtime. The quintuple. The big Q.
Well, quadruples Q.
Yeah, so it's quintuple.
Yeah.
That's why it's the big Q. Quadruple is the littler Q. It's
And what would 6 be?
septuple?
Right, that's 7.
Oh, sextuple, sorry.
What would 8 be?
Octuple. Why are we doing this?
I don't know. I'm just curious how
Why
you can go.
This? Why are we doing this?
Because we could get there, Dust.
We could. That is
we need to know the words ahead of time. Envy obviously not trying to continue to fight to that point. They obviously want to end it as soon as possible because, like we said, it's only the first map. So have Dust 2 and potentially Inferno to come up. Turtle, who's been able to really lock down control of ladder room, still maintaining that. Is Fugly able to get on the board here?
That's a big catch. He's getting a lot of movement off of it as well, getting way deep into the back halls. Could even help pinch inner, but also you could just kind of hold this real estate by time. But the problem is the bomb is now kind of separated. Oh, okay, that could have been really awkward because Lukowski kind of positioned himself in between T's there and could have been a big spoiler, but he does get picked up. That's going to really help out Envy, who now have such a massive man advantage.
Oh, Tiburcio needed that kill. Now it's all on VSM, basically. His player's coming in from behind. Player from the front. He actually hears them, and very likely he actually could pull this off. He gets that first kill. Just needs to stay alive, but doesn't expect Nifty to be there, and Nifty will close it out, leaving it all on Turtle yet again. He's made a lot of noise. Ely's going to take his head clean off. So 25-25.
That's the first, that's like the loudest I've heard Sam all game long. Is that the change they needed?
Maybe.
A little bit more energy.
Maybe. I mean, they
Something.
needed that round.
At this point, like, all logic kind of goes out the window. I mean, we've already played so much Counter-Strike that now it just comes down to, like, mental cracks and fortitude, little small errors, you know, maybe a key duel here and there that decides rounds at this point. And I think the key one that round was Fugly catching that Ivy aggression and getting so much space back halls because of it. Also, Lucalzi going down, who was, like, put himself in a position where he could win the round and didn't, was also a really big kill for Envy. All tied back up.
Ely just hoping he doesn't get dropped there. Doesn't see the player towards heaven. He'll get some damage done to Turtle, but unfortunately for him, he will lose his life. Lucalzi again, speaking of him, going to be pushing up VSM on the up. One of the very few times with his last 2 days we've seen him use it, and he will be successful. You see now Ryan immediately backing away as they're going to be at a 2-man deficit. This is the last round of the first half of our 4th overtime.
You nailed it.
Of our first map.
You really just nailed it. See if Envy can try to fight their way back into this round. They are well behind, though, and that headshot from PRT is crippling. They have such great positioning. Still have a player in heaven as well. They add the cherry on top. Lucalzi going to catch Nifty. Oh, what is that? And they kill the guy in heaven, and Nifty gets PRT. Are they really going to bring this back? It was a 2 versus 5.
Well,
what just happened?
It was a 2v5, now it's a 2v2. Tiburcio trying to push up to stop the bomb from being planted, but Ryan will be successful in getting that one down. Double ups.
Oh, he saw
Trying to go for a retake, but yeah, they might have seen him, but Ryan is just going to survive here. And Tiburcio doesn't want to give away the spot just yet. Spots him out, gets the kill. Now it's all on Nifty in a 1-on-2, and Nifty gets the kill. Can he get the 4th to save the round here for Envy? And he's going to get it. Envy, a 2-on-5, pull it off and come out of the half with a lead.
I mean, all the stuff we've dealt with to this point was totally worth it to see that play unfold. That was so incredible.
I want to see that first shot
from
his perspective. From his perspective.
Yeah, I would love to see that too, because that seems so wild. He seemed dead to rights. And then somehow they caught the heaven kill so quickly. Oh my goodness. In the blink of an eye, that goes from a 2v5 to a 2v2, and then Nifty gets the quad kill to win the round. That is beautiful. 2 away from winning the first map.
That's got to be a big boost for them too.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Like you said, we haven't out heard them this loud in a long time.
That's like the biggest play of the game. Like, that was the most impressive series.
Well, that could have been
of frags, yeah.
the Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel power play of the day.
Could be.
Now coming up later though.
Yeah. Deserves to be in the running, I would say that.
Just the shot alone deserves to be in the running, but then the round win should be a separate choice.
Yeah, so like Nifty had an ace one round that could be in the running. I think there was like another one.
Fugly had an ace.
The taser kill in ladder room. That seems really weak in comparison, but it was just kind of funny. Ooh, this boost. We haven't seen that this game yet. Doesn't actually wind up spotting anything though. Big kill from Ely.
Oh, he wants the second, but VSM won't let that happen. Equalizes things, and now Ivy being left up a little bit. Sam's to be opping this one, but gets actually caught looking the wrong way at the wrong time. They've been able to get out and get some ground. He's going to look to redeem himself, though, as he gets the first kill, gets the bomb down, gets the leg up to the second, and almost has the potential shot to follow up with as Lucalzi fluffs a couple of lines. And now Ryan looking to close this one out. It's going to be all on Tiburcio, and there we go. Team Envy get 1 round away from taking map 1.
I feel like the tides have shifted. I feel this is where Envy closes the game. Like, you can just kind of feel it in the air at this point. Off that, you know, crazy 2-on-5 victory, pretty clean victory there to kick off this CT side. It does seem like those final nails are finally being put in the coffin of Train for Detona. But there is still that chance they could win a couple in a row and send us into another overtime.
I wouldn't doubt like the possibility.
I would just say, like, I'm tipping the scales favoring me at this point. I think there's like a good 70% or so chance to go ahead and close it out.
Curious, by the way, that they're using 2 AKs when they have the money to go for the SGs.
Yeah, definitely. Most teams are pretty SG heavy, but might be just a personal thing for them.
I feel like VSM's been like one of the few players we've seen that does
well,
use the AK.
Well, if you're going to be doing like
SG.
a lot of spamming with the AK, then the AK is kind of still preferred in that regard because it is an easier spray pattern. So that could be part of it. But yeah, normally the SG is going to win in like every other regard.
Again, back to the aggressive plays out of Envy, realizing they just need 1 out of these next 2 to close this out. It's going to be Ryan, the one pushed up towards T-Con. Fugly waiting to receive the players towards this inner sight. Also has Nifty there to back him up, and Nifty's got to be riled up. I'd be scared to go the direction of where he's currently holding after the last couple of rounds out of him.
He's maintained 180 AR this many rounds in the game. That's pretty crazy.
Well, Fugly again, fortunately going to miss his shots. Does get connection finally coming through. Nifty going to be holding his line, though, holding that angle. Gets connection onto Turtle. More importantly, turns into a 4-on-3. Envy might be able to close out this map right here, right now. Sam looking for the shot, but not able to just find it up against Tiburcio. Nifty's pushed up so aggressively so far. Is there any way they're going to expect this one to be coming through? And with Sam getting that kill on a PRT, they're going to finally close it out. Envy will win the first map with 28 rounds to 25.
It wasn't easy, and it wasn't fast, but we eventually got there in the end, and Envy do go ahead and lock and train. It was a weird map pick. It was questionable.